Well, Henshaw here again, a friendly local constitutional counselor from California. And this is another of my videos on foreclosures in particular. And I want to point out to you that even if you've been foreclosed on 15, 20 years ago, maybe more than that, there are no statute of limitations on the multiple acts of treason I can teach you uh, that you can prove happened from day one, from the entirety of the foreclosure process. The courts never had any jurisdiction, and you sensed that, but you didn't know why. You're going to learn all about that now. And say, my gosh, and to yourself, you think, well, I have property rights here. And in the system set up by those racist framers of the Constitution, you sure as hell did. What happened to them? Had trial by jury according to the course of the common law. And the jury rules on the facts and the law here. Where the hell did that disappear to? So you're going to get a lot of answers to questions like that, but it all involves acts of treason by a whole bunch of official actors acting treasonously, which negates all their actions from day one. They knew or should have known, and most of them have a sworn duty to see that the laws are faithfully executed. And that's the very last thing that happens, and that's a lot of bargaining leverage for us now, especially with Trump doing what he's doing. And by the way, I'm not thrilled with some of the things, especially in Minnesota, that are going on right now. But he knows a lot about what I'm talking about here and is prepared to act. So if that happens, that's even better for us. And now we really can get these, people with foreclosures and go back and get them. You may not get your original property back, but the amount you're going to get for the multiple acts of treason, and we're going to treat the corporation, the non-existent corporation that foreclosed on you. Now, geez, if you would have known that all those years ago, you could have filed a document even in their corrupt courts and pointed out the fact that corporate entity doesn't lawfully exist. And if that's the case, they can't be in a judicial court, and I'm not in a judicial court, and all the fucking laws you think you have to apply here are null and void, non pro tunc ab initio as bills of attainder. That would have been the argument. You should have been able to make it. And by the way, you're also going to learn you should have had pro bono effective assistance to counsel. And you're going to get with my materials, my modestly priced materials, a constitutional defense document packet. You get a letter to the ABA and SBA, American Bar Association, demanding pro bono effective assistance of counsel for free. We don't give a rat's ass who pays the attorney, or if the attorney gets paid at all. He has a sworn duty to do what it is you want him to do. Simple as that. And once that starts to happen, now a lot of this goes away in a hurry, because all they have are pros they litigants like you and me that come in there with specious, frivolous, sovereign citizen fucking arguments, and they never get opposed, despite the fact that the foreclosure has the burden of proof, and I would argue at least clear and convincing evidence, if not beyond a reasonable doubt, that you're a quote unquote person within the meaning of the statutes involved. And they can't do it because that person is always all capital letters, and you're going to learn that that's a 14th Amendment birthright citizen. But you're also going to learn the 14th Amendment does not exist. And that's cataclysmic for all the people that are in the business of foreclosures and banking and what have you. But isn't that a shame? You make the right issues and bring them up. And in our court, you're going to learn about that too, a foreign state judgment. That's another thing I've recently gotten onto. You're going to learn all about that. Send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. And like I say, it doesn't matter, how many decades have passed. With all these things that have happened, because none of them should have, and they wouldn't have if you had been taught in the mandatory public education system back in the day what your rights were. The foreclosure never happens because you know what to do and when to do it. Not your fault that you didn't know. So this is really great for all of us. So send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. and you're going to learn all about it. And wow, it's incredible the things that are happening now and have been, for a long time. It goes back to at least FDR and the New Deal. What they should have been ordered to do by the U.S. Supreme Court is to tell the American people that the New Deal, the deck of cards, had 52 jokers in it. That would have been real nice to know that now, wouldn't it? But we do have rights and we do have ways to invoke them, and we're in a window of opportunity where I can teach you how to do that. That's what's so exciting. So send me an email, youwinnincourt@gmail.com. Remember to subscribe, like the videos, tell your friends, get the word out. The quicker we start doing this, especially with antique foreclosures that we can start to do, not to mention the ones currently going on today, the quicker all of this goes away, and that's better for you, your children, and your posterity. Thank you.